Hi, this is Philip. The poem I chose to do the work on was Walt Whitman's The Song of Myself. Uh, Walt Whitman's considered the grandpa of American poetry. The poem's best to read if it was. It's the Song of Myself. So he wanted it in its best form to be sung or said out loud in bard style so one could hear it to actually get the full effect of it. He had a ton of stuff to pull from and inspire himself when it came from this poem. He was a journalist, a clerk, and a nurse, as the professor said. It's interesting throughout the poem you had a lot of, I'm hoping to enter the nursing program, but I found it interesting that you had, when he was having analogies to stuff, there's respirations, inspirations, heartbeat, passing of air through the lungs. Then there's about middle ways down, there's talking about a flap of curtain lingers to a sick man born in the hospital, confirmed there. Talks about the makeup of blood, every atom out of my blood. And then he also talked about an insane asylum, which he could have also done maybe as he was a nurse, said something to where there was confirmed care lunatic to an asylum. I just found that kind of interesting. The poem starts out as a song of myself, starts as a celebration. Another interesting thing was he revised the poem 5 times. It wasn't something he wrote one time and that was it. The book of poems he revised a fair amount, but he revised this poem 5 times. So since it is a song of himself, or a poem of himself, a poem of his life, I guess his life outlook changed a few times, and he always constantly revised it. The one big point it seems like one of the big themes is Whitman was obsessed with grass, tons of grass. Throughout the poem, he's always alluding to it. What is it? And he kind of used it as an analogy to just tie that we are all interconnected, which was the main theme, I believe, of the poem, is that it kind of reminded me of my little sister watched The Lion King 1,000 times when she was little, and then there's that, for anyone that's seen it, King Mufasa was like, when we die, our bodies become the grass, and the antelope eat the grass, and we are all connected in the circle of life. It's the same quote as the Bible, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, kind of saying, no matter where you are, who you are, you're all interconnected by life, by organic matter, however you want to tie it together. But connectivity was probably the biggest theme of his poem. He went on throughout there's a lot of phrases or verses that had to do with individuals' occupations. He would describe a blacksmith, he would describe, a carpenter. The list went on, but he kept doing that and kept building that up to tie everything back to being connected. It's a very long poem. It was a poem to celebrate. It's very descriptive, very filled with joy. I'm not too big into poetry. It's kind of hard to me to fall behind, but the reading, he meant for this poem to be for everyone. The wording was quite simple, definitely compared to some of the other poems I've had to read. It's a very easy one to follow, but very interesting, and just very, to be an American classic, to be a poem, this was his main work, especially being that he had to continually work on it. So a good read. I'm gonna try to do one more video post before the week's over, try to knock out another one, but I hope everyone's week's going well, and can't wait to see some of your all's videos. Thank you.